Good morning! I'm gonna begin today's video with a little bit of a story time, and this story is gonna contain basically what I did over the last couple of days. Now, we are in an unusually cold period here in Eastern Austria at the moment. We're always somewhere around the 20 degrees Celsius, sometimes even below 20 degrees Celsius. So because I already knew that this was coming from the weather forecast, because I check the forecast regularly, I thought, man, you gotta use this period to get back on the 8B Boulder Project, because as you know, for the hard bouldering we need good conditions. So that's what I did basically, okay? Got back onto the first session, getting back into the moves, getting the muscle memory back in, getting acclimatized again, and also, you know, stimulating my freaking fingertips, because the gym skin is of course baby skin, which is not suited for making hard moves on hard, sharp, small little crimps, okay? So I cranked down a couple of these single moves to really shred my skin down, to give it a stimulus to grow back again, this really nice calluses that you need for crimping down small sharp edges. And that's what I basically did on the first session. Making a rest day, second session, going really good. You know, second session really directly after the rest day again. Not on the day directly again after the first session, because as we know, then we've got the specific destruction from the project in the muscles, and it wouldn't make any sense to try anything anyway. So then we get a rest day in, day after the rest day, getting onto the second session. And feeling really great. Of course, I did everything right with my conditioning and stuff. I was quite lightweight. I could link a couple of moves. I got to the crux move like 3 times or something, but I messed it up 3 times. I was really unlucky. So the climbing god, the freaking climbing god, unfortunately didn't bless me with an ascent yet. So I decided, okay, let's do another rest day and then get back on it again straight after the second rest day, because the cold period actually still is lasting, okay? So we're still having cold conditions. So that's what I did, and that was the day yesterday, basically, this rest day, okay? So I had my rest day, wanted to get back on the project today, but what happens today in the morning? As you can see, it's not very light around here, and I have to put my light on so that I'm even well lit for the video here. Hopefully I'm looking somewhat okay here. But anyway, of course it's raining like crazy, okay? It's raining like crazy all night long, and also this morning. So probably at this point the project is wet, and even if it wouldn't be wet and the whole forest around it is wet and everything is moist, and it doesn't really help you a lot, you know, when you're light and you're strong, but then everything is wet around you. You're gonna slip off these greasy small edges all the time. I already had this problem on the project. So okay, so the climbing god is throwing another obstacle here in the way to send this thing. So I decided, okay, man, then I'm gonna force it down. I'm gonna force it down via a strategy, and this is called the 8B mission. And I decided to take you guys with me on this mission as kind of a 50,000 subscriber special, or whatever you want to call it. So I've designed here a little bit of a schedule, as you can see. So we're gonna go through this here. We are here, okay? This is like all these fancy plans, fancy maps that you always see in these parks and stuff. We are here. Today is a Thursday, and on Sunday is going to be another good day. That's what I know, at least from the forecast. The forecast predicts with relatively high probability a very good day on a Sunday. What does that mean? It's gonna be dry and cold. Because actually it's gonna still rain today, Thursday, and it's gonna rain tomorrow, Friday. So I can't really try the project on these days. On Saturday we're gonna be dry again, also somewhat warm, but the problem is it's gonna still be wet from these days. And on Sunday we're gonna be dry and cold, and it's gonna be hopefully dry as well, the project. You know, the rock is gonna be dry as well. So we're gonna make Sunday the sand day, okay? So what are we gonna do on the way to Sunday to create the ideal day, the perfect day for sanding, for crushing this thing? So let's go through it here real quickly. I already did my weigh-in today. Quite lightweight, of course, because actually I wanted to get on the project today, and I conditioned myself to do so. So I'm pretty damn strong, I guess, and also pretty damn lightweight. I already got my breakfast in, a little bit of a banana smoothie, you know, with soaked flax seeds, and now we are here. So what's gonna come now? It's raining, so it's wet and cold like crazy. That doesn't mean that we can't go into the gym, okay? So we're going into the gym to keep up our freaking fitness. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a fed training. Fed because we had our breakfast before. We're gonna go balls to the walls on small holds. Why small holds? Because the project is containing basically all small holds anyway as well. So we're not gonna making any far reaches on jogs or slopers because that's not what we're gonna need for this project. We're gonna need small holds. So we're gonna go small holds, balls to the walls on a 45er and on the small campus board as well. And then maybe we are gonna throw in some one-armers right afterwards that as well, okay? So we're gonna make an intense session. Intense because we got some food actually. We got some food and breakfast, and I'm also gonna try to use up some fruit during this session, during the workout meal. And why I'm gonna use up some fruit? Because we're gonna go into a fast afterwards, okay? But that's actually another story. So after this training, we're gonna smash in a post-workout meal as early as possible. Why as early as possible? Because, as I said, we're gonna go into a fast afterwards, okay? So I'm gonna attempt, because I wanna make sure that all this time is not wasted in case we are not sending the freaking 8B on the Sunday. I'm gonna attempt a 50-hour dry fast as well during that time, okay? Now, when it comes to the fasting, man, that's the whole other subject. I learned so much about nutrition during the last half to actually 1 year or something, okay? We're gonna talk about this in another nutrition episode, but essentially what it's gonna do, of course, it's gonna make you light as hell. Now, plain water fasting is, of course, shit because you're pissing out all your electrolytes. So essentially, you've got the choice between fasting on salt water, which is gonna keep up your strength to some degree, or you're gonna fast dry, and that's what I enjoy the most actually. You know, just the dry fast. It's also the most difficult. I'm actually going for a soft dry fast. There is also a distinction between a hard dry fast and a soft dry fast, but again, you don't need anything. You don't need to know any of that stuff so far, okay? So anyway, I'm gonna throw in my post-workout meal as early as possible because we want to get as much fasting time as possible until we rehydrate and refeed here on Saturday and do the attacking day on Sunday, because there is no way you're gonna attack an 8B freaking Boulder Project when it's your limit dry fasted, okay? That's not gonna happen. So we need to rehydrate and refeed on the day before, and that's what we're gonna do on Saturday actually. But anyway, after the post-workout meal, I'm gonna weigh in for the fast, and that's gonna be my starting weight, and then we're gonna track my weight. So Friday, we're gonna fast in the morning, then we're gonna do another weigh-in, track my weight, then we're gonna go train actually. We're gonna do a fasted training. Of course, we're not gonna have as much energy as today, so we're gonna go a little bit softer on the 45er. And then afterwards, yeah, here I did a little mistake, not one-armers, but we're gonna hit the parallettes instead of the one-armers, okay? The reason why we're gonna need to hit the parallettes is because they are much softer impact than the one-armers, and so we're gonna do that. This is something we can still do fasted. And afterwards, we're gonna hit the hangboard at home, which is basically from a exhaustion point of view, the least exhausting exercise anyway, which fits perfectly into the fasted regime because we're just gonna make a few max hangs. The reason why we're gonna throw this in here is because that I have made the experience when you do a hangboard session, then a rest day, and then an attacking day, you're gonna get the hypercompensation from this hangboard session straight into your attack, and you're gonna have a shitload of finger strength, okay? At least when you're my age and you're recovering during 1 day. If you're older, then you might need 2 days, okay, to recover from such a session. But for me, it works out always perfectly. So far, my experience at least. So after this second training here, first training, second training, this is a fasted training, so that's gonna be a little bit of a bitch. We're gonna track our weight again, and then we're also gonna do some ketosis tracking. Now, we're emptying our glycogen stores here during this session. We're not eating anything, okay? So the liver is gonna be empty at some point, and the muscles as well. And then the body is getting into a problem. It's gonna realize, holy shit, we're not having any sugar in our body left. So how do we run our fast-running brain and stuff? You know, we need any fast-acting nutrients. So then what it's gonna do, it's gonna turn fats into ketones, because ketones can be transported into the brain and used up by the brain. Ketosis is shit for training, okay? So that's why we're gonna do our last session before that. I already know when I get into ketosis, because this is not the first time I'm doing this, okay? So yeah, we're gonna track our ketosis, basically our ketosis transition. And how are we gonna do that? We're gonna use some keto strips that we're gonna dip in our urine. And in the urine, you know, kidneys are not very good at reabsorbing a shitload of ketones. It can actually get better when you're fasting a lot. But usually you're gonna have ketones in your urine when you have ketones in your body, okay? So we're gonna see when we hit ketosis via these strips. And it's probably gonna happen during the night over Friday to Saturday, okay? And on a Saturday, we're gonna make a rest day. And this rest day is focused on fasting almost exclusively, okay? We're gonna distract ourselves. We're gonna do some guitar playing, some reading. I'm gonna talk some stuff into the camera, which is gonna be hard as frick, because the brain is gonna run low on sugar. And you know, you're slower. You're definitely slower in your mind when you're in ketosis, okay? That's actually why ketosis in a permanent state is probably not good, okay? It's good to heal yourself, because that's what fasting is all about, actually healing yourself, not losing weight or anything like that, which is only a byproduct of fasting, which is welcome, of course, to some people as well. But essentially, it's a healing tool. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna track our weight again. And when we are at 50 hours in, 50 hours dry fasted, which is gonna be a new record for me. My record so far is 45 hours. Then we're gonna rehydrate, and then we're gonna refeed. So what's that gonna do? We're gonna refeed on a ton of carbs here. Now, a ton of carbs, it's gonna be a good carb meal. And because we have fasted for 50 hours up until there, our body is gonna be exceptionally able to suck in nutrients from this refeed, okay? And that's what we're gonna make use of. We're gonna refeed here, sucking the nutrients in our body. We're not gonna need much, because the digestive efficiency is gonna be so freaking high after this fast. And so on the next day, on Sunday, we're gonna go to sleep. We're gonna make a weigh-in on Sunday, and we're gonna take a light breakfast in on Sunday. We're gonna be full of energy because we refed the day before with maximum digestive efficiency, but we're gonna still be light as hell because we've dry fasted for 50 hours before that. And it's gonna be dry and cold if the weather forecast works out the way we want it to be, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop into the car, get out to the rock, and then we're gonna freaking crush this 8B project, okay? And I'm planning, I really wanna execute this regimen, okay, that you see here, these 4 days. I wanna execute it as crazy, and that's why I wanna make a video of every single day of these 4 days and put it up on YouTube. And probably the day of Thursday, today, I still need to edit it, of course, in the evening, so it's gonna go live at Friday probably. So as you can see, when you're seeing the first video of this regimen here on Friday, I'm still executing the regimen, which means I can't stop anymore, okay? It's gonna keep myself accountable. So that's why I want to do that. I want to make a video of every single day and throw it on there as quickly as possible, so that you can see how the progress is going actually, and so it keeps me accountable. I can't say after 40 hours in the dry fast, no, it doesn't feel good. I want to eat something now, you know. I want to use up all my fruit today, because actually when you're dry fasted for 40 hours, then you're gonna have such a craving for quick, easy sugar, you know. When you have a piece of fruit lying around in your kitchen, you're gonna grab it and you're gonna eat it. So we're gonna use it up all today, so that we don't have anything at home to eat anyway, okay? So we're gonna have to fast. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna make a video of every single day. I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna keep myself accountable. Let's get it done, man. Let's get it done. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna hit the climbing gym now. I'm gonna make probably a few shots of what I did, a little bit of a voiceover, and then we're done with the first day, I think. I'm gonna also film the post-workout meal and also my weigh-in after that. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna see you soon. Alright, so as you can see, we're back at the climbing gym. I just waited with my voiceover here a little bit because, yeah, it must be annoying to hear me running my mouth all the time. So I just want to give you a little bit of a break here. So now I'm gonna say a few words of what I actually did. As you can see, I started as always with my mobilizing routine basically, and then I got a really nice stretching session in, and as I always do it, I start with the easiest stretches and then I'm going into my splits. Now what you've seen before was the regular standard split, and now you're seeing the lady split here, lady split other side, and then I repeat those two one more time. Okay, I'm gonna go one more time into the normal split and then one more time into both lady splits, because I have the experience, I made the experience that you usually on your second attempt you're gonna go it's gonna feel much better, you know, you're already a little bit stretched in, and then it allows you actually to really go to your limit, you know, when you do these second rounds. Okay, so after that I basically attacked the 45er, and yeah, was really stretched, really mobilized already, but not really warmed up in my fingers, so I simply grabbed a few holds. And then I did what I usually do very often, as you've seen me doing so often already. I do my campusing basically. Campused a few times to the top of the 45er, simply, yeah, taking only big holds, trying to get the fingers warm, trying to get the upper body warm basically. And then I started to create myself a really small holded project, as it was the plan actually. So yeah, simply searched a couple of really small holds. Now I didn't want to spend much time, I didn't want to waste much time, so to say, inventing a complicated project where every move is just perfectly hard and stuff. So I simply picked out a few very small holds, and I decided that I'm gonna step everything, okay? So that I don't really have to care a lot about my feet, but the main objective basically is to get some really small holds in, and that works best when you can step everything basically. So as you can see here, yeah, it's really small stuff, but actually kind of cool moves on that one. In the end it turned out to be somewhat around, I don't know, 7C maybe, I think that's V9. Felt really possible, and I got really close really quickly to sending it actually. I also had to break my number one rule here to never crimp indoors. You know, the problem is when you want to emulate the outdoor holds on an indoor wall like that, it doesn't really make sense to avoid crimping at all cost, you know. Because you're crimping outdoors anyway as well, and these holes are so small, and especially on the wooden holes, I don't know, the wooden holes here, if you chalk it up really nicely, they really feel kind of similar to outdoor holes, you know. So I don't really have a problem with crimping them indoors, just for the training effect, for the emulating effect, emulating the outdoor stimulus. So here you can see one of the goes that I made from the ground actually. Got really close, as I said, but I didn't send it this session. It was also not necessary. I just wanted to basically crank down a couple of really small holds. And yeah, after this 45 session, it was the moment where I ignited, so to say, my first banana. Yeah, then I got warmed up for the small campus board. As you can see, it's not very high. The distances between the rungs are quite small, and the rungs themselves, they are very small as well. So I think we're talking about like 15 millimeters or something like that in hold size, and very rounded in addition to that. So it's really skin saving, really skin sparing, I should say, and really good to train actually. And yeah, I got a tip during this session actually how I could make my campus boarding, when I do it like that, how I could make it more efficient actually, a more better training stimulus. And that was when I'm actually up there, that I do the same movement down again, so to say, getting a negative in. So what I'm trying here is 2, 6, 10, as you can see. And here I'm up, and then I'm going down again. So yeah, it gives you another input into this muscle. And here we can see someone who is really strong. It's Thomas trying to go for 1, 6, 10. So that's basically the max reach that he can get on this campus board via overreaching. As you can see, he's going down again, and he's trying to go back up again. I think he didn't manage to do it the second time. But as you can see, he's really strong enough to lock off these small rungs, and yeah, I'm still far away from that. Anyway, after the campus boarding session, I ignited my second banana, and then we kept fooling around a little bit on the small holes of the hangboards. As you can see, it's going quite solid actually on the small Beastmaker crimps here on the left and right side there, which is kind of cool because that was kind of impossible still a short time ago. And then we hit these 8mm Beastmaker edges with 30 kilograms of bonus weight. So that was kind of a pretty intense stimulus. We simply wanted to see if we are able to do it, because we saw Daiko Yamada, I think, training in his some pics in his Instagram where he's hanging that stuff with 47 kilograms bonus weight or something. And then I basically got warmed up for my one-armers. So what you see here is a couple of normal pull-ups, then a couple of muscle-ups, and here these archer pull-ups, which I always like to do as an ideal warm-up actually for the one-armers, because it simulates kind of a one-armor stimulus. And here I'm going for a record attempt. I wanted to get four one-armers with my left hand, which I never did before. But as you can see on my fourth, I only got to somewhat 90 degrees, and then I had to assist myself with the other hand. Same on the other hand, of course, on the right hand, but the right hand is my weaker hand, so there I'm still struggling with 3 solid one-armers back to back. And yeah, once these, so to say, volume one-armers were done, I did a couple of reps with 2.5 kilograms of bonus weight. This is a weight that I feel really comfortable doing one armor, and it still has a good training effect, as I have the feeling. Yeah, and yeah, that's basically how this session went. Really effective. All in all, I think 4 solid hours of training. Yeah, felt good. Good evening. So as you can see, it's already quite dark here. I just want to say a few words about all the things that we actually already got done today, because as you can see, we already ticked a few boxes here on the beautiful schedule that we made. We got our weigh-in in the morning, 62.9 kilograms. Then we got a beautiful breakfast in. Then we made our little bit of a strategy explanation here. We were here. And then I started my training, went to the gym, training fat, balls to the walls and small holds, really successful, got a nice project built on the 45er, got some hard moves in. Then we went on a small campus board, small holds again, also got a really nice stretching session in, by the way, that was good. And then we even got our one-armers in, which I was not quite sure about, should I do them or not in the morning, but I actually was quite motivated, so I did them as well. So all in all, solid 4-hour session in the gym, quite successful. I can feel it in my fingertips, that's why I want to feel it, small holds there. Now then I rushed home. I was home at about 4 o'clock. I started cooking instantly, so you're not gonna see a whole efficient cuisine about this stuff because I didn't want to film everything. I just wanted to cook as quickly as possible so that I have a lot of time eating, a bigger kind of a eating window for my post-workout meal. When you attempt a dry fast like that, you want to give your body some time absorbing the last nutrients that it gets, okay? So yeah, started eating at around 4:30 or something. I went in first with a smoothie. The smoothie contained 2 bananas and 2 oranges and a good dose of soaked nuts, soaked walnuts actually. And I want to say a few words about these post-workout meals, okay? Then I made a little bit of a rest, and then I went in with some cooked potatoes and vegetables right afterwards. Now, I finished eating at 18 o'clock, so as you can see, I've got about roughly 1.5 hours of eating here. Now, when it comes to this post-workout meal, 2 things. Unusually high fat content, okay? I actually got a good dose of soaked nuts in there, also to the potatoes with vegetables. Now, of course, when you're going into a dry fast, you want to fatten up a little bit, because fat is the slowest acting, metabolizing, energy carrying nutrient, okay? The absolute antidote of what you can say is fruit, okay? Because fruit is simple sugars, simple carbs, and if you smash fruit in as a basically a last meal before a fast, you're gonna be really hungry really quickly again. So these fats, they're gonna digest a little bit slower, you know, and they're gonna keep me satiated for a good amount of time. So that's number one. Number two, I actually smashed in a considerable amount of salt into my potatoes with vegetables. Now, why did I do that? Because I wanna actually soak in a little bit of water into my body, okay? As we know, salt increases your water weight. So when you smash in a lot of salt, you're gonna actually stash water on your body. So we're gonna go dry here, okay? I'm not gonna put any food or any water into my mouth until Saturday plus 50 hours of 18 o'clock, so that means 20 o'clock. Until Saturday 20 o'clock, I'm not gonna eat or drink anything, okay? Then we're gonna rehydrate slowly, and then we're gonna refeed as well. But so that's 50 hours without water contact, without water drinking anyway, because I still take a shower. But without basically drinking, that means we're gonna live from our water that we have now onto our body, and also the metabolic water that we're gonna create on our way to this date, okay? So that's why I added a little bit of salt, so that I can actually stash a little bit of more water here. And then I went straight into a nap, okay? I don't know, I slept for about 2 hours or something, because the eating was kind of, it was kind of big, and the session was kind of exhausting as well. And now we are here basically. I also did another weigh-in here at 21 o'clock. As you can see, after the post-workout meal, I was 64.8 kilograms. That's gonna be our starting weight. I'm gonna track my weight, as I said. I will try when I'm awake to do it every 3 hours roughly when I'm at home. Of course, it's not going to be possible all the time, but it's usually very possible in my experience. We are now here, here as you can see at 21 o'clock, we've already down 64.1 kilograms, or already down 0.4 kilograms. Of course, I took a piss in the meantime, so that explains that. Now we are here. I'm gonna keep finishing this video of the day, which is actually gonna be a shitload of work. Hopefully it doesn't get too long. Anyway, this is gonna be some really severe self-development here coming our way. So hopefully you're just as psyched as I am. I'm definitely psyched. Can't wait for tomorrow, Friday. The plan is to fast, to make a weigh-in in the morning, and to train fasted, okay? We're gonna see how that goes. And we're gonna train on a 45er and make a little bit of a hangboard session at home. And then we're gonna keep weight tracking and keep ketosis tracking. It's gonna be really interesting when we have to switch, okay? So yeah, that's how it's going here. Quite good. I'm psyched, I'm pumped. I hope you're having a great time as well. I hope I could somehow keep you motivated, and follow me along with this journey. It's gonna be very interesting. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.